I still remember the exact second my car radio went silent. No static. No warning. Just dead air. It was 11:47 p.m. on a two-lane road in rural Pennsylvania, the kind of place Americans forget exists until they're lost in it. Tall trees crowded both sides of the highway, their branches clawing at the darkness like crooked fingers. My GPS had rerouted me because of an accident miles back, and I hadn't seen another car for almost 20 minutes. Then I heard it. A whisper. At first, I thought it was wind leaking through the cracked window. But it wasn't random. It had rhythm. Words. Soft. Female. Don't stop. My foot slammed the brakes so hard the car skidded. The road was empty. Heart pounding. I checked the back seat, the mirrors, the trunk release, nothing. I laughed nervously, telling myself exhaustion plays tricks on the mind. I turned the radio knob. Still nothing. The whisper came again, closer this time. Keep driving. That was the moment I knew something was very wrong. I pressed the gas. The road curved sharply, and my headlights swept across something standing on the shoulder. Women. 3 of them. They stood perfectly still, dressed in old-fashioned white dresses that looked soaked at the hems. Long black hair covered their faces, hanging like curtains. They weren't hitchhiking. They weren't waving. They were waiting. Every survival instinct screamed at me not to stop. As I passed them, all 3 heads turned at once. I didn't look back. I didn't slow down. But the smell hit me anyway. Wet earth and something rotten, like a flooded basement that had been sealed for years. The whisper returned, now layered, overlapping voices speaking in unison. You saw us. The GPS screen flickered, then went black. That's when my engine died. The car rolled to a stop in total darkness. Silence swallowed everything. Then the knocking began. Not on the door. On the roof. Slow. Careful. As if someone were counting seconds between taps. Tap. 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 My hands shook as I grabbed my phone. No signal. No bars. Not even emergency mode. The tapping stopped, replaced by the sound of nails dragging across metal. A woman's voice slid through the crack in the window, gentle and smiling. Please, we need help. I squeezed my eyes shut. I had grown up in America, but my grandmother used to tell me stories, old stories, about spirits that mimicked human voices, about things that punished you for acknowledging them. One rule echoed in my head now louder than my heartbeat. If you hear them, don't answer. If you see them, her voice whispered in my memory, don't invite them. The handle on the driver's door rattled. Open the door, another voice said, lower now. Angry. The temperature dropped so fast my breath fogged the glass. Then the whisper changed. You already let us in. The dashboard lights suddenly flared to life. The engine roared. I didn't question it. I slammed the gas and sped forward, the car lurching like it had escaped something's grip. In my rearview mirror, I saw them standing in the middle of the road now. Smiling. Their faces were wrong. Eyes too wide. Mouths stretched like torn paper. And then, one of them raised her hand and waved. I drove for another 15 minutes before lights appeared ahead. A small gas station, glowing like a miracle. I pulled in, jumped out of the car, and nearly collapsed from relief. The clerk was an old man with tired eyes. When he saw my face, his expression changed. You saw them, Didn't you? He asked quietly. My stomach dropped. You're not the first, he continued. Women who whisper. They follow travelers who hear them. I asked him what they were. He didn't answer right away. Lost things, he finally said. Women who died on that road. Decades ago. Flood. Bus accident. Locals say they don't know they're dead. I told him they tried to get into my car. He shook his head slowly. They don't need doors, he said. They need permission. A cold realization crept over me. I remembered the whisper. Keep driving. Don't stop. I had listened. The clerk leaned closer. Did they say your name? No, I said quickly. His shoulders relaxed slightly. Then you still have a chance. A chance for what? To notice. I left the station before I could ask more questions. That night, I dreamed of water rising around my bed, of hands brushing my ankles, of women whispering from beneath the surface. When I woke up, my phone was on. A voice memo had been recorded at 2:11 a.m. I don't remember pressing record. With shaking fingers, I played it. 3 voices whispered together. You looked back. I froze. Because I knew something I hadn't admitted to myself. At the very last second, I had. I quit my job 2 weeks later and moved to the city. I don't drive at night anymore. I avoid empty roads. I sleep with the lights on. But sometimes, when everything is quiet, I hear it. Soft. Patient. From just outside my bedroom door. Don't stop. And I know one day, I won't be strong enough to keep driving.